it's very rare that you get to meet somebody, so experienced as Mr. Partho is, and I'll give you a brief introduction about him. He's the gentleman who's behind a lot of leadership initiatives that Maruti has taken. He's the man behind the digital transformation that the automotive sector has seen. He's the man who's brought data-driven marketing signals. And more and more I know of him and I speak to him, I realize that to his credit is also, an early insight spotting, which allowed him to build a channel on the brand Nexa. Plus, he's also, sort of distinguished himself as a man who does everything which is customer-centered. So therefore, as marketing and digital world and the media world is at the cusp of a big transformation, the gentleman who actually defines the intersection of technology, insights, and business and marketing, we couldn't have anybody better than Partho here. So we would like to call him Partho's son also. We'll call him Partho here. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Partho. Just his introduction is so illustrious that...
Thank you, Vivek, for the long introduction, in fact.
No, sir, you have so many interesting facets to your personality, and therefore we'd like to, pick up each one of those, as we speak through this session. So first to start is, you need to have a very compelling story to tell to the consumer. Today's consumer knows what is real, what is not real, and it's not just CPM, which is cost per mihi, but it's more content per million. So how in this content 4.0 ecosystem do you see, what are your views? How does Maruti see the content 4.0 communication?
I think very good question, Vivek, which you have asked. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, first of all. It's nice coming here and be a part of this session. As Vivek was telling, I think the important thing today is how we differentiate between the purpose and the functionality. Many a times when we are trying to communicate with our target audience, we are not clear what we need to convey. Most of the times, if you see the content which is coming is this, we are focusing on the functionality part. I'll give an example of it actually through one interesting thing which we did in Maruti. I think the important thing is this, other than the functionality, there has to be bigger purpose. The classic example is the Nexa channel which came. Before 2015, we used to have one channel. I will tell you why we created that channel and what was the purpose behind it. I was just sharing with Vivek. So I used to look after the all India, the dealers, what the trends are happening, how is the trend changing for the small cars, the mid-size cars. I was seeing some trends which were happening in the tier 2 cities. Very interesting insights were coming. And we were doing pretty well. We were the market leader. Still we are the market leader, having a market share that time of more than 50%. And the small cars were rocking. I literally mean rocking means say the Alto used to sell 3 lakh cars per annum. That moment of time, we observed in some of the markets, the trends are changing. Why? Nothing wrong with the product. Purpose needs to be seen because the young Indian customer who was that time coming up, I'm talking about now 10 years back, they had different aspirations. We were seeing some trends. We need to change the purpose. Ultimately in the car there will be 4 wheels only, 1 steering. It will have 1 engine. Styling is very subjective. Coupe style, boxy style. You can go for the conventional style. That will be appealing to different set of customers. But fundamental thing is this, am I able to connect with my customer or not? And through the Nexa, we were able to connect the young Indian TG. And that's where we brought in the new experience, the Nexa experience. Because we bring in a purpose actually. It's not the product, but it's the overall, the communication and the purpose. That makes a difference. That doesn't mean the functionality is not important. I'm not saying at all. The Indian consumer is very, very value conscious. I don't want to give an example, but they are very premium brands. There, the diesel car sells more than the petrol car. And many times when you, in front of the face, they will never say, they will talk about the high torque, I like it, blah, blah, blah. But fundamentally, they are saying the running cost, the TCO. So, Vikram, even a Vivek, even a vehicle priced more than 4 million rupees, there also people see the running cost.
Wow.
So functionality is always there in the back of the mind of the consumer. But purpose makes you more and more sharper in terms of communicating with the audience. So one example was that of the Nexa, which I just shared with Vivek.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrific. You caught on to that insight well before, most of us, even in the media, were not able to catch it. But we saw this new brand, and I'm sure it would have been a challenge to convince everyone when you have a flagship brand and you feel that there needs to be another brand that reflects the aspirations.
Very true. There were challenges, both external as well as internal.
I think that's the life of marketing. And another thing, sir, another thing that I'd like to ask is, now a lot of brands are catching on to sustainability as a part of their message. Sustainability as a part of their message. And, it's a difficult task for a marketer to look at things that you actually stand for, and then, then find the values that you share with your consumers, and then communicate it. So there is a differentiation. Then there is a value that the consumer has, his value system, and then you marry those together. And one of the campaigns that you steered, we can say you steered because you're from the auto sector, but one of the campaigns you steered, which really caught my attention, was a very different way of building this sustainability, which is run on what you really love, run on what you really like, and it was very conversational in nature.
I'll give you example of one classic case and what we are doing also. We feel that is the way forward. Automatically it will start catching it up, and that will keep on growing. Third important thing is this. We, as the marketing guys, need to be very, very careful about what are the things, problems which are there in the society, like the sustainability today which is there. How we can take it a bigger plank, and we can make each of the customers who are there in that particular market be part of it. Very important. We need to make this thing clear to them. These are broadly the three things, Vivek, I feel.
Yeah.
The people sitting in this room can think about it. I'm not saying everyone will agree with me, but we need to start thinking in those lines. Just telling about the product, its functionality is not going to work. That's my state.
Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have amongst the most polished and advanced marketers here with us. And to conclude, I think all of us, and especially me, I've had a small conversation with him before we came in here. What really stands out for Partho is his spirit of experimentation. Usually when you're running a leader and you have a huge market share, and you got success behind you, and you got brands that have been built over years, and then you go ahead and take that big risk, take that next chance. I think that is what makes you really different. So thank you very much, sir, for being here, and thank you everyone. It's indeed a privilege to have somebody like Partho opening the India Digital Summit.
Thank you, Vivek. Nice meeting you.